If you ever find yourself being jealous of your own friends doing better than you, you're a fake fucking bitch! And there is absolutely nothing I hate more than a fake fucking friend. Because friendship should involve like constant support and celebration of each other's successes, not jealousy. And you all know where jealousy stems from. It stems from a feeling of insecurity and inadequacy, and hence the need to compete and compare with other people. What I hate is a jealous friend who calls themselves your friend, because that's just being ironic. What I hate is a jealous friend who secretly hates everything you have but at the same time wants to have what you have. That's just being a hypocrite. So let me just end off by saying that true friends will never get jealous of each other. And ultimately, it is important to surround yourself with friends who actually uplift and support the things you do unconditionally. That's your key to a nurturing, positive and fulfilling friendship.
One of the most dangerous kinds of friends a pretty girl can have, and by pretty girl, I mean you, is the type of friend that copies your every move and tries to be you. Now, mind you, I don't mean taking inspiration, I don't mean matching outfits from time to time, or having similar styles, etc. I mean the blatant copying, where it's borderline creepy. This is a specific form of jealousy that becomes dangerous. This is not someone you should have closely around you or in your circle. There are horror stories of friendships that started off like this. Watch out, ladies. Stay pretty.
The one thing about me, let me tell you, I am never ever in my life remaining friends with anybody who is friends with someone or with people who I know don't like me. And I'm not even upset with people not liking me, honestly. Kind of flattered. But it's just the fact that I know that the second I leave the room, it's the both of you that talk shit about me. The both of you. And I know that this is common knowledge. I know that I'm not saying anything new. But I also know that there's a lot of sweet people out there who like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And this is your message. Just stop doing don't do that. Stop. They are not your friends. I'm sorry to break it to you. If they're comfortable being friends with someone who doesn't like you, red flag. And if the both of them feel at ease discussing you, the matters of your life, behind your back, honestly, it might be time for you to find some new friends, babe. I don't know what to tell you.
Sometimes you have to be a little disrespectful to show them just how respectful you've been. Listen to that again.
And for my recovering people pleasers, let's talk about what's not disrespect. Respecting your boundaries, that's not disrespectful. Not letting people walk all over you, that's not disrespectful. Having a backbone and standing up to people, that's not disrespectful. Valuing yourself, your worth, your time, your energy, that's not disrespectful. Limiting access to people that no longer deserve you, that's not disrespectful. I say all of this because when I decided to start establishing boundaries in a lot of my unhealthy relationships in the past, whether that was at work, family, friends, school, or romantic partners, I was labeled as mean, and I was told, oh, you're not the same, you've changed, you're acting brand new, you're acting different. Yeah, I am, because why do I want to let you disrespect me? That's stupid. And this is why I believe in telling people how you feel. Of course, exercise situational awareness. And if you have to put it on your to-do list for later, make sure you actually handle it later, because people will do to you what you allow them to. A lot of times we brush stuff off and we push things to the side thinking that if we just let it slide, they won't do it again. Sometimes you think if you just tell someone nicely or politely, they won't do it again. No, with some people, you just have to be very direct. And if they try to cross that line again, you just got to cut them off. Per my last email is not disrespectful, because if you were smart enough to read, you would know that I said this 30 minutes ago. That's not hostile. That's not you overreacting. That's you showing people that they should pay attention, because how many times have you said this? People think that we're supposed to constantly repeat ourselves. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to. Telling somebody, don't talk to me that way, that's not being disrespectful. Telling someone that they need to be held accountable for their actions, that's not disrespectful. Returning the same energy that somebody gave to you first, that's not disrespectful. And a lot of people will convince you that you're being disrespectful because they're not used to you standing up for yourself. Your body even plays tricks on you sometimes, because I know for me, when I first started establishing boundaries, I would get cold sweats, I would have heart palpitations, I would literally internally be freaking out, because any time that I tried to establish a boundary with a toxic person that showed me that they were toxic, they always had a very negative reaction, and silly little old me would continue continue to try to get them to respect my boundaries for extensive periods of time where it was just a waste because they never did and I just needed to cut them off. One good getting them together, and if they don't get it, never speak to them again. And sometimes that one time that you get them together, that needs to be the last time that you speak to them. Because if you allow people to disrespect you, you're not respecting yourself. In fact, you are disrespecting yourself by sitting through someone else's disrespect that you do not deserve. Again, time, place, situational awareness, all of those play a factor in these situations. But it is your responsibility to teach people how to treat you. And the only way you can really do that is if you know how to treat yourself. And for a lot of us, that takes copious amounts of life lessons. I mean, I have had to reach some very low lows in order to treat myself better so that I would know what I would not be allowing in my life. But standing up for yourself, that's not disrespectful. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
The older I get, the easier it is for me to realize when somebody does not like me. I used to be so clueless and just not see when people were jealous of me or not be able to see when people didn't like me. But let me tell y'all, for my other clueless girlies, here are 3 signs that that girl does not like you. She ain't your friend. She might be acting like your friend, but she's not. Number 1, every time you bring up something, whether it's a guy, whether it's clothes, whether it's what you got going on with your life or career, she's always trying to compare. You can't bring up nothing in your life without her trying to compare it to hers. You don't get a moment. It's going to be y'all's moment. Jealous. Number 2, this person has a hard time giving you compliments or praise. You will praise them. You will hype them up. You will, yes, girl, you will woo, 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 and scream for them when they get something accomplished. But when it's your turn around, it's a whisper. Congratulations, girls. Jealous. And lastly, y'all get along best when you're doing bad. When you're at your lowest points, mentally, physically, you may be going through a hard time with breakups, or you may be going through a hard time with school. That's when it seems like y'all relationship is the closest. But whenever you feel like you're doing good, or whenever things are looking up, or things are flourishing, or you in a healthy relationship, or you doing good, it's always friction, or it always feel weird. It only feels good in a relationship when you're doing bad. If these 3 signs apply, please get rid of that friend. This is your sign. Get rid of her. That girl is not your friend.
Here's how to tell if they don't like you. If while you're talking to them, they glance at each other and start making a weird face, or start like trying to hold in a smile. If they invite you somewhere by saying you can come if you want. If you notice that they stop talking or they change the subject when you come around. If you stop to tie your shoe and they keep walking. Or if you stop to talk to someone quickly and then when you turn around, they're so far away. If you're all in the same room and you catch them texting each other, they don't like you and these people are not your friends. And I know you could feel it in your gut. So stop hanging out with these people.
Here are the most clear indications that your friend is not really a friend. This took me a while to figure out, but there are people that will claim to be a friend and will be around you all the time and not really want the best for you. And there are very clear indications, aka red flags. If your friend is always trying to talk you out of an idea or a goal that you have for yourself and lets you know that it's out of your reach, you don't have the skills for it, you can't do it, you'll never get it, that's a red flag. A true friend will always be supportive of your adventures. Even while telling you the truth, there are ways to go about it. And I heard this from another creator. If I remember her name, I will tag her in the comment section. But people have this way of looking at you, and you will know if that look is with love or with envy. Last but not least, and the most clearest indication, someone that has a hard time complimenting you. No matter what you've accomplished, they will always have a hard time congratulating and being happy for you. Instead, they will kind of act like, no big deal. Okay, so you bought a house, so you graduated, so you got a new car. Nice for you. That attitude, that's a red flag.
This is just a little PSA for the girlies. If you have friends that get upset or intimidated by you when you don't tell them every single thing that's going on in your life, these are not your friends. These people are called secret haters, and they're in a one-sided competition with you at all times. And the reason why they get so upset when you keep things private and they don't know every little thing about you is because it's harder for them to figure you out, 1. And 2, they don't have the tools to one-up you in their one-sided competition. So this is just your reminder to beware of people like this, because there are so many out there. Evil eye is so real, so keep things to yourself. Set some boundaries.
Here's some signs that someone envies you. Belittlement. Anytime someone envies you, they idolize you in some type of way. And what do I mean by that? How do you hate someone but idolize them at the same time? this person sees you on a pedestal, a very, very high one. Whether that be because of your beauty, your gifts, or just the way people love you. And a lot of times your intelligence. This is why you will rarely ever hear that person compliment you. Because in the mind of somebody that's envious of you, you're already on that high pedestal. Giving you a compliment would just boost up your head to them. Because they already see you as boosted, just to be real. And in all honesty, they don't want to see you go any higher than where you already are in their mind. A lot of times this person won't see many flaws in you. They might see little issues that you do have, but what they want from you outweighs all of that. So since they don't see many flaws with you, they have to belittle you and sometimes even create some. For example, you want a husband? Oh, so what are you gonna do about the face? You know, the fat on it? You said you love the way my face looked when I smiled. What's different today? Nothing's different today. She just felt the need to bring you down because she saw a moment or a glimpse of your confidence. And that didn't have to be that day. That could have been days ago, weeks ago, months ago, but she finally found the chance to be able to belittle you in that moment. In her eyes, she had to. She had to humble you back down because at the same time, she wants to keep you around. And that goes to the next point, imitation. You have to truly watch out for the word we. There comes a point when this person starts to say the word we. That's how you know they have gotten deep. For example, I had a buddy and I was wearing Crocs one day. I wore them because my other shoes needed to be washed. But she wouldn't have known that. I came around her, I said, hey. She looked down at my shoes. She looked down at my shoes and said, are we wearing Crocs now? I thought she meant culturally. Like, is it time to bring out the Crocs now? You know? But the next day she came in and she was wearing Crocs. I didn't pay attention to it. When I would pick out certain styles for myself that she did not care for, this is what she would say. People like us don't wear stuff like that. And in my mind, I ignored it at first, but after hearing we about 15 times, I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean we? You mean me? Whenever this person starts to say the word we, be careful. This is the phase right before they start to discard you. And you don't know how far that person will go. I think I'm about to make a part 3.
5 signs your friendship is toxic. The first sign is when your friend constantly seems to need something from you, but when you need them, they're always missing in action. 2. They never apologize, but tell you in defense they were just joking when you get upset about something insensitive or rude they said. 3. You feel like you're the only one who really cares about the friendship. You're the only one giving and never receiving. Another sign is when they always talk about themselves, but when you want to tell them what's going on in your life, they are not interested in what you have to say. The 5th sign is they are never positive about your accomplishments. When you tell your friend of your small wins and they belittle it or tell you it's no big deal, yeah, that's a red flag. Drop any questions you have for me in the comments section and don't forget to follow and save this video for later.
I talk a lot about jealousy on my platform, and it's because of experience. I've had to come to terms with the fact that I cannot be around insecure people, and that includes family, it includes friends, even longtime friends who I thought were in my corner. If they're insecure, they can never be happy for you. I've come to learn that insecure people will always have a problem with you. They'll even create problems with you. If you're someone who's beautiful, you're confident, you're gifted or you're talented, or even if you just have potential, you don't even have to have that much going on for you. You could be as humble as ever. You don't think you're doing anything special, but the fact that you have potential, they can see that you have the potential to be great. That alone can cause envy and jealousy. They can't deal with their insecurity. If their self-esteem is so low, they can't ever be happy for you. But rather than walking away from you and leaving you alone, they will stick around and try to destroy you instead. That type of behavior never fucking made sense to me. If you don't like somebody, just get the fuck away from them. But a lot of people, I've learned, even when they don't like you, they'll stick around. The reason they're sticking around is because they're trying to take you out. When people cannot compete with you, they will try to take you out of the game. The funny thing about these people is they usually can't do it by themselves. So they'll smile in your face, but behind your back, They are planting seeds and ideas in people's minds so that people can turn against you. While they're talking shit behind your back, they're gonna pretend to be your friend and give you horrible advice. They'll tell you to do the thing that you shouldn't do. It's because they want you to dig yourself in a hole. And when you don't pay attention, this can go on for a long time. But inevitably, they will end up betraying you. It always ends in betrayal because as soon as they see the opportunity to hurt you, they will take it. They won't be able to hold themselves back. As soon as they see an opportunity that will hurt you or destroy you or set you back, they will take it. So I talk a lot about these type of people because I've dealt with so many of them. And a lot of the betrayal that has happened have come from people who I thought loved me. And I'm not mad at these people anymore because these experiences really led me to myself. I learned to assess myself. I learned to assess people and the people who have been around me. And doing this has actually helped me see through the bullshit. It's helped me see through what's behind people's appearances. It helps me see through the manipulations. It helps me see through people's motives. And because of that, it's actually helped me become more open to the world. Because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of people hurting me because I trust myself to see through the bullshit. I trust myself that I will act accordingly or walk away if I have to. If I don't see through it, if I end up getting hurt again, I trust myself to recover. I trust myself to pick myself up again and learn from the experience.